At the beginning of their fight, what's the difference between Goku and Vegeta? Vegeta really enjoyed the way this fight started. Goku, on the other hand, got a real kick out of it.
What's wrong? I was hoping for a more interesting fight.
You'll get one!
At the slightest verbal provocation from Vegeta, Goku decides to finally break out his secret technique. Okay, it wasn't just the taunts. There was also that whole awesome first clash where Goku had his intestines forcibly displaced by a Saiyan boot. Given how much is at stake, Goku doesn't really hesitate to break out a power boost once he loses the initial exchange. An almost gentle white glow outlines him, a real contrast to the sharp, dynamic, electric energy Nappa and later Vegeta are surrounded by. The air shudders and almost seems to take on a wavy water-like quality, as if heat is radiating off this man. Mostly obscured by pure white light, a hint of rainbow appears at various parts of his body. It's as if he's tapping into a full spectrum of energy most beings could never dream of, but since it's only a hint, it leaves open the possibility of greater heights yet unreached. When a full energy aura does arise, the color of choice, like we saw against Nappa, turns out to be red. Interestingly, red is often seen as a more aggressive, dominant, or sinister color. Psychological studies have suggested that, all other things being equal in a competition, red jerseys legitimately have a small role in helping a team win over a blue-colored team. Our minds are subtly intimidated on a very subconscious level by the color red in comparison. It's enough to take a 50-50 chance of winning and maybe tick it over to a 51-49 chance. Perhaps this color was a purposeful choice, given that we're already rooting for Goku to enact the fiercest justice possible on this alien invader. Vegeta is responsible for killing so many people across so many planets after all. Blame for the deaths of our favorite characters can easily fall at his feet along with Nappa's. Not to mention, we know what he'll do to the Earth if he wins. Notice Goku's energy seems to almost flicker, very much like a flame. The visual suggests the possibility of burning out quickly. Supported even more when we see he loses the aura after a simple move and has to reignite. This isn't something he wants to maintain consistently. Interesting to see he opts to control the battlefield itself. Circling back to the last video, both fighters have tried repeatedly to get in each other's heads to distract each other. See part 1 for more on that. By essentially pulling the rug out from under Vegeta's feet, focus is drawn away for a split second. Split second is more than the Saiyan Prince can afford to spare. That was really weird sound design. The entire hand-to-hand combat section coming up, full of weird effects and voice choices. Reminds me of... It does communicate Vegeta just got his jaw rearranged. It's just weirdly distracting. So is this. Maybe it's my headphones? I can kinda hear punch effects. But overall, not really. So the repetitive grunts really come off as awkward. You know what this is like?
Number 4099er.
That was a movie release trailer for The Mummy where they accidentally omitted a ton of sound effects. He's not screaming because of an upcoming plane crash, by the way. He's screaming because you haven't liked, commented, and/or subscribed yet. Could I ask you to please feed this video to the algorithm gods? Thank you so much. You're the best. Following the barrage of punches, Goku lands a brutal kick to the face, which seems to have drawn a hint of blood. Whoa, what happened to the censorship team? Somehow, Despite being unable to raise a hand and block any of this, Vegeta grunts away a severe concussion like he was faking the whole time, kicks on the jets, and kicks Goku's head off his shoulders. Damn, I see that blood squirt. The color seems a lighter shade of red. I wonder if this was a censorship color edit to make us think it was some kind of force visual effect instead of blood, or if the blood is just a weird color, almost like a raspberry jam kind of color. Quick shout out to the creative, intense, artsy backgrounds they frequently implement. This ends the episode. Next, Goku vs. Vegeta, a Saiyan duel. The first episode Dragon Ball Z I ever watched was this one. All I saw was the word dragon on the TV Guide channel and thought, hey, dragons are cool. What is this? What it is what I'd argue might be the single best and perhaps only perfect episode of Dragon Ball Z. I don't mean that it has zero flaws. I mean this episode more than any other perfectly represents what DBZ is. Is that nostalgia talking? Or did I luck into starting with the peak of this series episode-wise? Let's find out. For the first minute or two, I'm going to discuss the episode from the perspective of someone who's completely unfamiliar with the series, just to give you an idea of how fantastic a job this episode does for someone who's just walking into the series fresh. That's right, we're going beyond just the fight. We're breaking this whole episode down.
Into my crystal ball. There you will.
It opens on a shot of this tiny island with an even tinier house. From this, we transition to a hint of magic and mysticism as a stereotypical witch attempts to pull up some kind of visual on a crystal ball. Okay, so Dragon Ball Z is about magic and fantasy? Listening to her various doofy oohs, ahs, and rapid movements, get a comedy vibe as well.
Now for all you're worth, show us the fight for the planet Earth.
But wait, the fight for the planet Earth? There's fighting? Little kid me is going, hey, whatever this show is, this is one unique mix of elements.
Bummer.
Panning out, we get a bit of comedy when the ball fails to work. We also see a room of interested, concerned, or downright grim-looking folks. Given what the witch just said, it's easy to assume these characters are perhaps friends and family. People related to whoever is involved in this fight for the planet. An anthropomorphic pig and a sentient turtle, stereotypical martial arts master with hip glasses, retired Zangief-like strongman fighter? Who are the two ladies? So many questions, but their design and the context in which all these characters appear gives us a lot to go on.
Hey, what's the matter? You're the one who broke it, Toots.
Between the use of toots and the pig's accent, there's an interesting New Yorker vibe going on here.
Hey, girls, it's not broken. Stop it.
The wise old martial arts master also stops an argument about who broke the ball. A world-wise individual, he realizes,
I think the crystal ball is overwhelmed. Goku and Vegeta are emitting an inconceivable amount of energy.
Then when questioned, he drops a simple,
well, I think so.
It's a very playful scene overall. Not enough to make me laugh out loud, but having the guy go from wise sage to shit, maybe, I don't know, it gets a smile out of me.
I know, we can check it out on the Scouter.
Sometimes you amaze me, Bulma.
This is fantastic. Without knowing shit about this lady beforehand, I get one line and I instantly know her name and likely specialty, which revolves around technology. The show is rapid fire, effectively building the world, the stakes, and the characters without clunky dialogue or exposition in a way that's fun. And if you don't know what the fuck that Scouter does, well,
Two gigantic powers due west.
okay, individuals can be really powerful. That device detects them.
Only two? Oh, Daddy!
Even more stakes are built up when we realize this character is worried about the safety of an unknown number of people. Besides finding out the big guy is her father, we also reinforce the idea that individuals can have tremendous power. But is this a magic sort of thing? Or is it something else entirely? Doesn't take long to see that on display. Keep this in mind. In the West, we were used to seeing heroes like this.
Okay. And then...
Regular?
Right. We disposed of a war surplus submarine last Friday to some chap named P. N. Gwynn.
They're used to curious sights, which they attribute to alcoholic delusions. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Brace yourself, Robin.
Spider-Man!
That sounded like someone breaking into the museum.
I've done it. Only the mechanical arms of Dr. Octopus could have stolen this $1 million ruby.
That's a crummy way to say hello.
Sure, they could pull off cool shit, but typically, guys like Spider-Man were street level. Even guys like Superman, if they went to space, their power seemed to be localized to their immediate area. Punch a guy in the face. Laser something that's near you. Maybe body slam someone down and make a crater. You don't see Superman causing the Earth itself to shake with his mere presence. That's the kind of stuff reserved for all-time galaxy-level threats.
You wish me to return to the cold nothingness of space?
Defend yourselves!
Do you really think your puny powers mean anything? You provide me only annoyance. Is this all you can do against me? This is too easy.
I love her.
Love? I do not understand. Your answer is unacceptable.
Like the Dark Phoenix, a force of literal cosmic nature, a godlike being. That's the kind of power that you see come along maybe once a decade in Western comics, and when it does, it's a big fucking deal. Dark clouds form. Rocks float into the air, propelled by an unbelievable, unseen force. Entire rock columns collapse, while this individual, highlighted by what appears to be an impenetrable green reflective shield, glows completely white. Whatever this is, holy shit, it is a big fucking deal. The music holds an air of dread, and the armor-clad warrior's sneering, sinister laugh pretty much instantly lets me know he's the bad guy. As if the dark evil clouds weren't enough. Everything from the visuals to the sounds work perfectly to set the scene and atmosphere in a unique, fascinating way. In case you were wondering if this kind of shit is normal,
oh man, what a force! I think the whole planet is actually shaking.
This line makes it clear what's going on is unprecedented. Clad in a orange karate gi, complete with a black belt, we can also assume a lot about this hero character. Moral, disciplined, strong, this unknown martial artist is also perhaps the world's last line of defense. Whatever happens here, it's likely going to involve straight up fist fighting. And given what this man's mere presence is doing to the planet, what kind of effect will a fistfight have? A massive, die-hard comic book and video game fan my entire life up until this point, I'd never seen anything like this. It wasn't just a visual spectacle either. The characters felt real and engaging. Most of them seemed to have their own roles and specialties. They were fun. They weren't...
That's a crummy way to say hello.
Stunted. Now we're going to stop pretending I don't know any of these people, because by this point in the episode, I felt like I kinda knew everybody already. That's how perfectly this opening executes everything it wants to do with these characters. Roshi is wise but goofy. Bulma is tough and independent, great with technology, and has a little bit of an attitude. Chi-Chi is a concerned mother and is related to powerful fighters. The pig is a comedy sidekick pig. This is an evil bad guy threatening the planet. This is a humble, extremely powerful martial artist and hero. All this in less than 2 minutes. I cannot say enough about how brilliantly the character work, dialogue, and visuals are all delivered here. Fascinating, fun, consistent, informative, perfect. Isn't it weird how there's almost an elemental aspect to both their auras? Goku has the fire, Vegeta, lightning. I can easily figure out why fire works so well for representing Goku, tapping into something explosive that threatens to burn him out. Fire also tends to symbolize life. Even if Kami were still alive, this man is the de facto guardian of the planet anyway, but it doesn't hurt to kill off the other guy and solidify it. For everyone who's come before, the dreams they've passed on to future generations were also a sword of fire. They passed a torch. With the death of each fighter, this fire grew weaker, till hardly more than embers and sparks remained. How about Vegeta and lightning? Look up lightning symbolism. What shows up are words like destruction, and themes involving punishment from the divine or from the sky thanks to Zeus. Pretty goddamn fitting for a destructive, godlike force of nature who descended from the sky to wipe us all out. So here we have it, the raging fire of humanity's last hope, throwing away his health, safety, and life in a desperate bid to protect everyone else's, in direct defiance of the unfair, destructive, malicious threat from above. He's calm and collected, but we know he feels the weight of that responsibility. It must be at least partly terrifying to know it all rests on him. Like a lightning strike hitting a forest, Vegeta is the catalyst for Goku dipping into whatever fuel reserves he can, igniting a brighter, hotter flame than any the planet's ever seen. Both men glowing white with a hint of rainbow. It's pretty interesting, implying this is perhaps some kind of standard for people who power up to this level. Don't get used to it, because I don't think it'll ever happen again, but hey, what can you do? That's right, here on this channel, we'll deep dive into the minutia of power-up aura designs and their symbolism on some occasions, and on others, we'll settle for, what can you do? If you're Goku, what you can do is shake with terror and worry, because... That's a really weird comment. Oh, not this! How can I deal with this unrelated natural disaster at the same time? Yes, he obviously realizes it's from Vegeta powering up, but given how little this affects him overall, it's like, why is he even commenting? Like this wind effect is at all a big deal for him to have to put up with. It'd be one thing if people were there in the path of the typhoon for him to save, but he doesn't know about the walking jelly donut below. Oh shit. Look at Vegeta's pupils being gone. Very animalistic, which again indicates we're dealing with someone so powerful, they're like a primal force of nature. A fact Vegeta highlights with a death metal scream. The roundedness of the face always kind of stuck out here to me.
That's it. You're finished.
So my interpretation is he sees the speed Vegeta launches forward with, right? And he freaks out a bit because of that. But just like with the Typhoon line, something is completely off here. This is the noise that you make either in disbelief or in shock. Most likely after getting hit, or at least after Vegeta goes on the attack. The way this is presented, it's like he's shocked by the fact Vegeta said he's finished. Like, what the fuck is he shocked by here? Strange execution. Especially because he has this... I'm taking a shit type grunt, too. Again, it's a noise you'd expect after getting hit or something. Not after someone just told you you're finished. What hits first is a vicious headbutt. Then an equally nasty elbow sends him hurtling to the ground at... Okay, well, it's really kind of slow to our eyes here, which again makes the specific... I'm falling out of control type yell stand out a little awkwardly.
What's the matter? Can't find me?
Outmatched, overwhelmed, a panicked Goku looks around for any sign of his taunting opponent. Great violent jolt there, which is why, as overdone as the panic level was here, it sounds underdone here after he eats several brutal shots. Matching a grunt with each hop also seems like the 500,555th odd choice in a row during this short sequence. And I am now glad I clarified earlier when I said perfect episode of DBZ and not an episode without flaws, because boy, I'd be feeling pretty stupid right about now. Able to spot Vegeta in time, this gives him the ability to dodge what looks like a legitimate fireball.
Kaioken ×2!
Times 2? Times 2? Oh shit, we saw him get some nice shots in earlier with normal Kaioken. What's he going to do now with
Kaioken ×2!
Oh fuck, that doesn't look like it did shit. Maybe it allowed him to keep a bad sunburn localized to his chest instead of his entire body.
Well now, mister, how nimble.
Good use of a crackling fire sound effect here. A smug look of satisfaction glares at our hero, who resolves to attempt...
Not bad!
The double Kaioken attack won't work. I guess I'll try a triple.
While he's not lacking in confidence, you can tell there is a reluctance to this decision. Imagine he and several others are locked behind a door, about to be burnt to death. He has to stick his hand into a smaller fire in order to grab a key. Yeah, it's going to hurt badly, but doing nothing guarantees an even worse outcome. It sucks, but there's no time for second guessing or hesitation. Given what we've seen out of Kaioken, we can easily surmise a ×3 comes with extraordinary danger.
I guess I'll try a triple. Sorry, King Kai, but I don't see any other way.
Oh, I told him not to go over a double, no matter what! It's not good.
Apologizing to the master who taught him the move is a nice touch. He made a promise not to go beyond a double. And even though the situation obviously makes it so no one can blame him, he's still a good enough guy to offer up that humble little apology there. Goku's hairline morphs here, probably scared off by the physical specimen of devastation peeking out from behind the rocks, the man named Yajirobe. I like how his design is evocative of a samurai. Even when watching for the first time, it helped me instantly understand that he likely has some skills as a fighter himself. Will he come into play at some point? It's kind of fun being in the audience and knowing something neither fighter does.
Goku's crazy! What's the matter, Kakarot? You don't seem too eager to continue.
All right, I'll try the triple Kaioken attack. I hope my body can take it.
I keep forgetting that you're an Earthling now. You don't even have a tail, do you? Why did you let them operate on you? What'd they do? Get you while you were sleeping? Now I see why you have no desire to join me on the hunt. If we still had a home planet, you'd be a laughingstock there.
Vegeta's mockery is top-notch, but something else to consider. If he goes right at Goku now, he likely finishes the fight, but his confidence that Goku can't touch him is at an all-time high. He's cruel and wants to enjoy this moment, so he taunts a bit. What's great is how little I think Goku even listens to it. The actual words don't matter. What matters is he's getting crucial seconds that he needs to ready himself for something he's not even sure he can handle.
It looks like Goku's in big trouble.
Yajirobe. Maybe strong, but nowhere near as strong as these guys. Plus,
this might be a good time to run like mad.
A coward. Again, perfect characterization. Not given as exposition, but implied through his actions and reactions. Fantastic writing. We've seen power-ups before, and we'll see plenty after, but in my opinion, this is the single best power-up in the entire series. This is about more than just psyching himself up. The actual act of powering up itself is a struggle, it's a challenge. He asks his body to not explode on him, and then the initial seconds, it's a request that seems like it's about to fall on deaf ears. Deaf ears and surging pecs, abdominal muscles, and arms. Holy shit, this hurt to look at. If it wasn't clear from the character saying it, this shot alone communicates how dangerous this is for him. A power-up puts him on the brink of oblivion,
No! I told him not to go over a double! This isn't good. I don't know if his body can handle it, but we can still hope.
Goku's power level is rising rapidly. At this rate, he'll explode.
This is something I don't think we ever get in a power-up ever again. In hindsight, how the fuck does she know he'll explode? Seems like an odd thing for Bulma to say, because she has no experience with ki or controlling it. Honestly, should have been a Master Roshi line. That said, using the worried group of side characters helps ground what's going on. Circling back to the previous point, when do we ever get characters who are worried about the safety of the hero just because the hero is powering up? This is more than a power-up, it's a deadly struggle to surpass his limits in order to have a fighting chance. Everything in the series, all their lives, they all hinge on if this is a success.
Are you okay?
This motherfucker just said, I never caught that till now. Holy doo-doo. I don't even have anything else to say about it. Just holy doo-doo, there it is. Little kid, guy in orange martial arts outfit. Easy to assume what they might be in relation to the hero. The fact Gohan is the one more concerned implies an almost otherworldly premonition. Like he can just sense that his father is going to need him because their family and their connection goes so much deeper than anyone else. Makes Gohan feel more important and instinctual, while also hinting at the role spirituality might play in the series. At the same time, King Kai, who is a fucking champ in this episode and the rare occasions he appears, perfectly expresses panic. This guy is as good at heightening the tension as anything else. There's a kind of affection here as well. What makes me say that? Well, that's his pupil. And though he knows Goku is breaking a promise not to try a triple, he isn't mad. He's just concerned. It's the right call to make, danger be damned, and the master knows it. Helpless to get involved, I greatly empathize with this guy's plight. And when I was watching this episode for the first time, I had only seen him for like 2 seconds. The lines in the middle of his body go darker. There's a little bit more thickness to them, and they also lengthen, all indicating that this is the absolute limit to what his skin and muscles could possibly contain. Goku once more initiates by focusing on destroying the ground beneath his adversary's feet. Vegeta, for his part, is utterly taken by surprise. While the camera focuses on him, time slows completely. This little time effect communicates to me that this is how Goku is seeing his adversary right now. Vegeta is now the slower fighter. But for how long? Without hesitation, our hero launches himself into the air. I love the way he slowly rises in this shot like a coil ready to unwind violently. So when Kaioken kicks in, it feels that much more explosive. Similarly, this shot does the same thing. Aside from the fact that it looks like his neck is broken because I think they maybe pushed it a little too far, it's obvious how much potential energy is behind this stance. Knowing how the rest of the series plays out, that sound effect is like, what the fuck? At the time, however, given how little people knew of Dragon Ball Z in the West, it did make immediate sense. You have the martial arts stuff, and with how intertwined discipline, nature, animal stances, and martial arts tend to be, tiger stance is a thing after all, it makes a strange kind of sense to play a sound effect of one of the most powerful, terrifying predators on Earth. One that's so linked to martial arts and Eastern culture as a symbol of power and striking ability. It's as if Vegeta, portrayed as a primal force of nature, is up against something ferocious and primal as well. A brutal kick into the spine sends the Saiyan into the air where he tries to recover. It's almost scary how quick Goku is on him here, and look at the insane distance put between him and Vegeta in an instant. The scale of this, from a speed and power perspective, is nuts. Looks like Goku is slowing down to our perspective because of how far away he is. Fair. A 600-mile-per-hour commercial jet looks slow when we view it from the ground. But it's a fantastic animation trick which pays off when he instantly drives a flying kick through Vegeta hard enough to launch him off screen and through a cliff. Make it appear like he's slow to us because he's so far away, and that further amplifies how fast he must be going when he appears in an instant. So much momentum, speed, power, and damage is implied by the way Goku lands this shot. Cut right to this, and you keep that going. Instead, what they did was this. I'd argue this clip, it's slowing down the impact and honestly should have been removed. Facing a 7-page script already, I honestly want to cut here at the 11-minute mark of a 22-minute episode, but I can't stop here. And neither can the fight. Enraged, a wild use of energy blows the cliff to dust, exposing Vegeta, his wide eyes, bulging veins, and grit teeth, seething visually and vocally. You know he wants to murder Goku, who, for his part, winces, his body screaming in agony. He's trying to maintain control while in this form. With frantic speed, he vaults over and behind Vegeta's punch, bends the man's spine with another crushing shot, and waits for the seething Saiyan to attempt a comeback. When he does infuse energy into his fist and goes for a wild kill shot haymaker to Goku's face, an interesting thought occurs to me. Goku and Vegeta are both struggling desperately to maintain control. For Goku, he is physically on the verge of collapse. The mental realm is where he's strongest. He does have that martial arts background. Vegeta, on the other hand, physically, he's in total control of his power, but mentally has been bounced off the wall so hard it's a wonder he can see straight. The more disciplined and in-control martial artist wins this battle of control easily and lands a devastating counterpunch, which shifts ribs and organs into places they aren't supposed to go. Visceral daggers of agony stab Vegeta, which matches the way he rapidly takes steps back, drool pouring from his face. Goku's muscles and eyes are darkened, indicating exhaustion might be setting in on top of the heavy breathing. At the same time, the veins bulge in Vegeta's head, dirt and bruising marks his face, and blood flows freely between his teeth, down his chin, perhaps a sign of internal damage on par with whatever exhaustion the other man is feeling. What I love, above all, look at how, even crippled by searing pain, how an animalistic rage continues to drive him. I'd like to also call your attention to another great juxtaposition. Earlier, when Vegeta came out ahead of the exchange, he bought Goku tons of time because he was too busy taunting. In this instance, Vegeta gains space and has some time, but it's because Goku is at his limit and physically needs to collect himself. Similar situations, but for very different reasons, and the reasons are consistent with each guy's characterization. I'd also like to compare this to most Dragon Ball Z fights where good guys stupidly stand there and don't finish the fight. Here, when Goku does it, it actually makes sense. I almost am rooting for Goku to give himself a moment instead of screaming, because I can tell how tapped out he is. For that reason, I am going to stop here. The script is monstrous as it is. Any more and I might explode. What do you think about all the side character work? How effectively each character and their role is communicated to fans new and old? Did you gain a deeper appreciation for it all by looking at it from the lens of a first-time viewer to Dragon Ball Z? What was your favorite moment out of this first half of the episode? Just think, we didn't even reach the peak of the episode yet. Next time, one of my top 5 favorite moments in Dragon Ball Z history, the Goku vs. Vegeta beam struggle. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, get some people, tell them about this channel. Really helps out in the algorithm. I hope you enjoyed what you watched and come back for more. Speaking of coming back for more, it's time to shout out some of my favorite subscribers and some of my favorite comments. As I do that, again, thank you all so much for tuning in, liking, engaging, sharing all the kind words, and keeping me motivated. Literally couldn't keep doing this without all you folks. Not at this pace, at least. Special shout out to my boys, who frequently try to insert themselves into every video. Special shout out to my bros, who comment on every video. But who gets my super special shout out this time? Got a few contestants, as quite a few folks stepped up with either super kind comments, like these, or with informative, great discussion points like these. Oh, I think I just gave all these comments a special shout out by highlighting them. Is that a cop-out? I feel like that's a cop-out. But the truth is, like a sappy father, all these comments are special to me. I really appreciate all you. I can't wait to see what you guys think of this one. Gotta be honest, now that I'm at the end of what is a 50-minute audio recording, by the way, I feel like I may not have delivered a lot of lines the way I should have. So I'm a little worried that as I edit this audio down, I'm gonna come to find like, shit, this isn't working right. But we're gonna find out. There might be a lot of bloopers for this. God damn it, 50-minute audio recording. That means that I have to listen to 50 minutes of audio. And that means I also have to be editing meticulously all of that audio. Who knows when the fuck this video is coming out. Peace. Goku's muscles surge and swell even further. The lines in the middle of his body grow darker and thicker and longer. The lines in the middle of his body go darker. There's a little bit more thickness to them, and they also lengthen. I almost am rooting for Goku to give him